Hello and welcome to the 1.0.4 Legendary Items Improvements newscast. Blizzard starts off by humbly admitting that most legendaries were utter crap, and in the 1.0.4 patch they will be doing an overhaul. Blizzard agrees that legendary drops should be very memorable because the items are rare, and with it brings its own lore. When you equip it, your character should stand out and it should bring a smile to your face. That sounds awesome. I think we're on the right track. At this point in the article, it starts showing off some of the new legendary item overhauls. Lidless Wall on the left has a chance to cast a shield around you when you are hit. Apparently this is inspired by the monster affixes champions and rares can get. I just wish the description wasn't so vague, but at level 55, I really doubt it's going to make you invincible. The second item on the screen is the Tormentor. It has a special effect which allows you to charm enemies, much like the Enchantress. Since I only play hardcore, I'm not really interested in equipping this on my wizard, but I would love to equip this on my Enchantress and give her an additional chance to charm more enemies. Also, for an eye level 61 weapon to get 1k DPS, that sounds really awesome. The Firewalker boots leaves a burning trail behind you. Cutting demon hunters will be all over this one. There is one thing I'm starting to wonder though, are all of these stats max item stats? Because if they are, the people who find them in-game are going to be sorely disappointed. The Pox Pants on the lower right is Blizzard letting the developers have a little fun. It apparently lets out a fart every once in a while, and if you watch the video below, the fart can actually damage monsters around you. I really like these kinds of things in games. It gives it a little charm, but my only gripe with them is that right now there is no place for you to show off all these legendaries. I mean, it's a level 9 item, you're not going to be wearing these for very long in-game. What they seriously need to do is to make the auction house an in-game area where people can run around and look at other people's gear. No general chat though, you know it would just be full of gold spammers and become really completely useless. Just local say chat in which people can run around and see what people are actually talking about, or at least give them a reason to run around and look at everybody's gear. Skycutter in the future can now summon a angel ally. At a level 59 weapon with very good DPS, this might become the poor man's legendary weapon. It's not high enough DPS to warrant a super high asking price, but the stats are good enough for Inferno. Maximus got a huge upgrade. At 1.2k DPS and 193 increased crit hit damage, even range classes can use that. Just one completely useless comment before moving on. Take a look at the sell values of these items. Seriously, Blizzard, the devil's in the details. The next part of the article focuses on items that will allow you to branch out and use less common builds. The first example they give you is a spear that will increase the barb's throw skills. Full disclosure, I do not play a barb, and I see where Blizzard's trying to go with this, but I don't think this weapon is going to be a niche class type deal. I think pretty much every PvP barb will want one of these to deal with all the annoying kiting classes. If you're going to be a PvPer, I think it's a good idea to grab one now before the arena comes out. I think they're going to get really expensive. Fragment of Destiny on the left is supposedly a melee wizard weapon, but the itemization on it sucks. As a melee wizard, you're probably only going to have 2 attacks. The other 4 skill slots are going to be devoted towards cooldowns and buffs. Why would you want a damage increase to cold fire and lightning? I'd trade all 3 of those for life on hit and a socket. Again, full disclosure, I don't play a witch doctor, but I think the homunculus is poorly itemized. The DPS is too low, and the reduction cooldowns wouldn't make much of a difference in my opinion. The next part of the article talks about providing interesting choices for the players. It uses gold skin as an example by adding new powerful affixes like 100% gold find and chance for enemies to drop additional gold when being hit. Gold skin balances these new affixes by not having any core stats. Okay, time for my rant of the day. Really, Blizzard? You use one of the greatest lines in comic book lore, "With great power comes great responsibility," by giving us this crap? Okay, seriously, every botter and hacker in Diablo 3 is going to be laughing to the bank. They're going to get this item, they're going to grab a bunch of armor resist and additional gold find, then they're just going to go to hell, not Inferno, not use a weapon, and let their characters bot themselves to a gold fortune. This game is built around the auction house. Now you're going to introduce an item in which it allows you to have basically a way to get an infinite amount of gold. I mean, I just can't see why people won't sit around and just think of ways to hack the game for that. Honoring our ancestors. Blizzard has always been a nostalgic lot, and they brought back a bunch of old items from previous Diablo games. If I remember correctly, the Sorc loved Frostburns for the increase in mana, not the increase in cold damage, but someone's gonna have to do the math on this one. Is the percentage damage increase worth giving up vitality, intel, and increased attack speed or crit for it? And what in the world did they do to the burrito cannon? It was one of the best affordable Amazon weapons in the game. Now it's relegated towards obscurity by being a level 40 item. The next section is titled Feeling More Powerful, which basically says they were wrong about capping stats and they're removing them. Two-handers are also getting a big jump to compete with dual-wielding weapons. The only opinion I have on this is that with big DPS and massive crit, two-handers may be the way to go for PvP. The last part of the article reminds us that only new items will get the stats. Un-ID'd items will not get buffed. Some of the old items will not be changed. Said items are included, although I don't know why they didn't show any in this article. All the new buffed items will get new names so that they are not mistaken with the current items. But I guarantee you scammers are going to be able to get people to trade for old legendaries by using some sort of swap trick. By the way, the trade window exploit has not yet been fixed, so don't use the trade window. Lastly, crafters are getting lucky. Their current crafting plans will be buffed so they don't have to go out and find new ones or buy new ones. The only thing I want to say here is that before they start patting themselves on the back, they should at least wait for the feedback of the community, or even better, to wait for the patch to release and be successful. I mean, seriously, they sold 10 million copies of Diablo 3. I think they can afford to pay their developers and designers a little overtime. There is no guarantee that this patch will be a resounding success. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and to my subscribers, thank you for your support.